you guys. Oh my God. Let's start with saying I have no words. We last spoke in Toronto before Swiss Army Man, and I remember telling you how much I loved that movie, and that was mind blowing. And then I go see this, and I'm like, come on. It's the
Thank
best
you.
film I've seen this year. And it's not just the story and the performances, but even that editing, that frame when you have all the different Evelyns coming together in like 20, 30 seconds, whatever it was. Best scene ever. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. I appreciate it. We made it just for you, it sounds like.
Yeah, our editor and Dan wanted that scene to be longer. They were like, "How? Let's make it 4 minutes."
Yeah, I was like,
Just-
how long can we just break someone's brain? It was very mean. The first cut was a little bit too much. So we pared down a little bit.
I'll start with an easy question for you guys. Hot dog fingers. I mean, the theater was howling when we saw that scene. Like, how did you guys come up with that idea?
I think it's an idea every like 8-year-old has ever thought of, which is the fact that our hands are just like our fingers look like sausages, and it was. We've been saying a lot that our ideas aren't that unique. The thing that's unique is the fact that we're like dumb enough to pursue them and execute them and turn them into these beautiful cathartic experiences with A-list actors. So that's really where the idea is like feels unique, is that we were excited to basically prove to audiences that if nothing is sacred, then everything is sacred. You know, anything can be beautiful, anything can be worth your time. You can stare at two rocks and have a really emotional experience, and like that to me is just like we wanted to let audiences have a different look at the world through our eyes.
Yeah.
But I think the hot dogs are 10 times funnier than we expected, thanks to Jason Hamer, who's our special effects, like practical effects guy who built them. And they were so fun to play with.
Only you two can make rocks look emotional in a movie like this, and I didn't expect that. I read that it was crucial that the audience, feels the same sense of vertigo, that you guys wanted that same sense of vertigo that Evelyn does, that sense of being overwhelmed by the noise and the choices of all her lives. So why was that bold structural strategy a key to creating this experience? I mean, was that the plan all along from day one?
Not day one, but not maybe like day 5. It was pretty early on in the process where we're like, we want to recreate the experience of living today in an internet age where everything, that sense of vertigo that you talked about, that's just our norm now, which is like really it's really taxing, and we wanted to create a movie where people could see themselves in the noise, but then ultimately come out the other end with a nice warm hug, and so we wanted to break Evelyn's brain, and in the process break the audience's brain, so that the audience didn't know what was going to come next, kind of break any preconceived ideas of what a movie is supposed to do, so that they can truly experience something as if it was the first time, like as if it was the first movie they ever saw.
Michelle would get a little Michelle would get confused or overwhelmed on set sometimes, and we'd be like, perfect, roll cameras, that's what your character should feel right now. Which I, to her credit, I think that's why the movie works, is because audiences can just like empathize with her, and she's just such an expressive and talented actress that like it makes all of our hijinks go down so much easier, because they have this like strong, trustworthy protagonist to hold on to,
Did you have a favorite universe to play around in?
We did not expect Rakikuni to look like that, or to have that much control. He's animatronic, so we had like multiple remote controls, and so Dan had way too much fun, and we got behind schedule because he just kept like talking as a raccoon.
Yeah, so I was Rakikuni's face performer, and then we had a couple other puppeteers helping with the ears and the body, and it was definitely one of the funner days on set. And everyone on set was like, "When can we do a full movie of Rakikuni? This is so fun."
When can you do a full movie of Rakikuni? It was fun. Of all the crazy multiverse ideas we do see in this, what was something else that you wanted to pull off for the film but didn't end up happening, or you could not include it?
There's so many. There was a universe where people communicate through silences. So everyone is constantly going ha, and then if you want to talk, then you go ha, and then everybody. So it would just be like really stupid looking.
Yeah, it's a concept.
I don't know why we didn't put that in the movie.
It's a concept that works better on paper.
On paper, it's kind of like we keep saying that Douglas Adams and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was an influence, and his ability to kind of like just take his characters into like kind of mind-expandingly silly places is something we aspired to for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say you have this, speaking of which, you have this incredible ability, you know, to balance the humor and the chaos, but at the same time hitting us with a dose of emotion. That was something we least expected, because it's not an easy thing to go through these different beats and at the same time expect the audience to follow along and feel all of that. Mm-hmm. And so my question is, what was the key to balancing the insanity and the humor as well as the heart?
Yeah, we realized that this movie at its core is just is a family drama. Like that's something we kept saying on set to all of our actors, is like, ignore all this other stuff. This is just a family drama, and we just want you guys to look for each other in the chaos. Like that was the core of the story. And so every single time there's a tangent or we go off to another universe, we tried our best to make sure it was serving the Evelyn's journey as the mother and the wife and the daughter, trying to pull her family together. So that was definitely the most important part to us, and it was one of the hardest parts too.
And I think like the way we balance it is by it's just always there. Like, even in the silliest scenes, we made sure, like he's saying, that the actors knew what they were feeling and that it emotionally made sense. And so, like, even if that way it wouldn't come out of left field when they start, when a scene got emotional, because the characters were feeling emotions all along, even you know, in the wildest, funniest scenes, you know?
Yeah, like the metaphor is the multiverse is the internet, and what happens to this generation, you know, Joy's generation, the character of Joy is sort of the millennial proxy for all of us, who grew up on the internet, and we saw too much, and we became jaded, and we saw absurdity, and we saw just awful things, honestly. And so the movie is in some ways that character showing her mother her true brain, you know. And so the mother is just Evelyn is just reacting to the chaos of the internet and all the awful things that we participated in. And so, you know, all the butt plug fights and hot dog fingers and all that stuff, all of that is very much rooted in this real experience that I think a lot of our parents have had to deal with, which is like, how do I create space in my worldview for whatever has happened to my child because of the internet, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's amazing that you guys did that. And it looks incredible. The film looks incredibly fun, but incredibly hard to pull off as well. But which is the one scene that we would not realize was actually much more tougher to pull off than it looks like on screen?
Evelyn and Joy walking down the stairs. Like towards the end, like the beginning, they just walk down the stairs. We couldn't find a laundromat that had an apartment on top. So the laundromat was a real laundromat, the apartment was a set, and the staircase was a third location that we had to go over and try to get just 3 or 4 shots in this one staircase in one morning for an hour and a half. And our location team like spent so much time looking for a staircase. You would never think, you know, you'd read the script and be like, this walking down the stairs is gonna be the easiest scene of the whole thing.
And I'd say the opening shot was really complicated. It's like, you know, it starts with them doing karaoke, then it snaps to daytime, and then we push into the mirror and kind of do this long tracking shot. And then at the end of all that, the actors have to perform this like little funny choreography of trying to grab the papers and talking over each other. And it's not very flashy, but it was a lot of planning. We actually had to build the whole apartment, like in a lot of ways, just for that shot, to make sure that shot could work. So yeah, that first shot, it's very small, but the people who like really appreciate it are like, they're like, oh, that movie, or that shot sets up the movie in such a lovely way. Mm-hmm.
It is incredibly well done. Obviously, watching this, everyone starts to think of their own multiverse. Have you guys thought what your multiverse would look like? When you see yourself in a different verse?
Yeah.
I mean, we made the movie. This is our multiverse. There's not much. I mean, yeah, I don't know what.
It'd be like, it'd be a universe where I'm a short lady. That'd be interesting. I've been a tall guy for so long.
Right.
Do you guys have plans for a sequel for this? Or is this a one thing that you had planned all along?
Yeah, the sequel is called Nothing Nowhere. Not at all. And it's just
It's a book of poetry. Each poem is one word.
Yeah. It's the most minimal thing ever. Just people just like eating breakfast and talking about what they're going to do that day.
But no, I mean, we like making feature films because there's a beginning, a middle, and the end. And there's something so nice about, as a viewer, that's like my favorite kind of story, like is one that like I can sit and just chew on the story and I know that that's it. That's it. I don't have to read, 40 books and watch 3 TV shows to figure out what they're trying to say. And so, it's very much, this is the story of Evelyn and it's kind of done.
Yeah. Let me just say that I heard you say that, if you could make a movie that is half as fun as The Matrix with your own stamp and your own spirits, you would die happy. Well, let me just say mission accomplished.
We're going to die happy.
Yeah, we're done. We can retire now. I'm so excited. Thank you.
It is a fantastic film. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to see this movie again as well. But congratulations, you guys. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for writing about us.
Congrats on your wallpaper.